Hello, welcome to September 10th, 2023. My name is Kurt, and this is my daily good life meditation. It's an exercise that I do every morning, a little bit after waking up. It's now 4:41 a.m. No, 4:41 a.m. I do this to remember my life objectives and principles, those which are outlined in my book, Going Alone. I also use this time to think about the last 24 hours, including last night, to see how I did with the various challenges and opportunities that I met, and how I made it a good day, the best day I could. I think also about the coming day and to prepare for the day ahead. But, and then I also ready myself for death. My brain's not quite with it this morning. I've had one cup of coffee, but it hasn't really kicked in. That's all right. Let's read a poem from Edward Thomas. Really enjoying this book. I've made my way quite a ways through the prose section now. Well, not quite a ways, just about 3 or 4 stories in, and working on the poetry as well. And I really enjoy his prose. Poetry is a little hard for me to understand, but I think I'll get there. Let's read now a poem called The Other. Here we go. The forest ended. Glad I was to feel the light and hear the hum of bees and smell the drying grass and the sweet mint, because I had come to the end of forest, and because here was both road and inn, the sum of what's not forest. But 'twas here they asked me if I did not pass yesterday this way. Not you? Queer. Who then? And slept here. I felt fear. I learnt his road, and ere they were sure I left the dark wood behind kestrel and woodpecker, the inn in the sun, the happy mood. When first I tasted sunlight there, I traveled fast in hopes I should outrun the others, outrun that other. What to do when caught I planned not. I pursued to prove the likeness, and if true, to watch until myself I knew. I tried the inns that evening, of a long gabled high street gray, of courts and outskirts traveling, an eager but a weary way. In vain, he was not there. Nothing told me that ever till that day had one like me entered those doors, save once. That time I dared, you may recall, but never foamless shores make better friends than those dull doors, those dull bores. Many and many a day like this, aimed at the unseen moving goal, and nothing found but remedies for all desire. These made not whole. They sowed a new desire, to kiss, desire's self beyond control, desire of desire, and yet life stayed on within my soul. One night in sheltering from the wet, I quite forgot I could forget. A customer then, the landlady, stared at me with a kind of smile. They hesitated awkwardly. Their silence gave me time for guile. Had anyone called there like me? I asked. It was quite plain the while, succeeded, for they poured out all, and that was not less than a mile beyond the inn. I could recall he was like me in general. He had pleased them, but I less. I was more eager than before to find him out and to confess, to bore him and to let him bore. I could not wait. Children might guess I had a purpose, something more that made an answer indiscreet. One girl's caution made me sore, too indignant even to greet. The other we had chanced to meet. I sought him then in solitude. The wind had fallen in with the night. As still the roads lay as the plowland rude, dark and naked on the hill. Had there ever been any feud twixt earth and sky, a mighty will closed it, the crocketed dark trees, a dark horse outhouse, dark impossible cloud towers, one star, one lamp, one peace, held on an everlasting lease. And all was earths and all was skies, no difference endured between the two. A dog barked on a hidden rise, a marsh bird whistled high unseen, the latest waking blackbird cries perished upon the silence keen, silence keen. The last light filled a narrow firth. Among the clouds I stood serene, and with a solemn quiet mirth, an old inhabitant of earth. Once the name I gave to hours, like this was melancholy, when it was not happiness and powers, coming like exiles home again, and weaknesses quitting their bowers, smiled and enjoyed, far off from men, moments of everlastingness, and fortunate my search was then, while what I sought nevertheless that I was seeking I did not guess. That time was brief, once more at inn, and upon a road I sought my man, till once amid a tap room's din, loudly he asked for me, began to speak as if it had been a sin, of how I thought and dreamed and ran after him thus day after day. He lived as one under a ban. For this, what had I got to say? I said nothing. I slipped away. And now I dare not follow after. Too close I tried to keep in sight, dreading his frown and worse his laughter. I steal out of the wood to light. I see the swift shoot from the rafter. By the inn door, ere I alight, I wait and hear the starlings wheeze and nibble like ducks. I wait his flight. He goes, I follow, no release, until he ceases, then I also shall cease. So a man searching after himself. Let's begin. Yesterday and last night, good solid day of effort yesterday, beginning with all my morning activities, really good life. Going alone reading from the beach, really nice long swim in the ocean. My wife and I cleaned the house, we did our shopping, had a nice evening with our daughter. It was a good day. Slept well. Yet, I woke up this morning feeling a little bit out of sorts. It's okay. It's a good day. That's 2 really good days. Now if I can keep this up. I think I can. The good life. My 8 objectives are to be always ready to die, to make good and effective use of time, to develop and maintain good and sound life principles, to cultivate good emotional reactions, to perform good actions, to recognize my true limits and my true opportunities, to do just one thing at a time, and do that thing slowly and deliberately and carefully, and to maintain my balance. And now my 34 principles. War, reason, homunculus, Anchorhold, home of good and evil, purpose, atomic principle, principle of nature, the pirate ride, maturity, social principle, principle of family, public speaking, temperance, life will not go well, the horror show, the feast of offal, distraction, agency and the great indifference, the best seat in the house, the restless man, the path of wildness, the great life adventure, the risk of avoiding risk, sin and damnation, complete oblivion, the season of philosophy, script writing, the the bullseye aim, the uphill climb, arena and utility, nothing is enough, and the principle of fun. These 8 objectives and 34 principles can be read about in my book, Going Alone, in the chapter titled The Good Life. Now, for today. It's a day off. It's a Sunday. All our chores are done. All our shopping is done. But I do need to make my chili, soup, whatever you want to call it, for the coming 2 weeks. And I'll do that this morning after all this is done. I'll also go to the beach and have a nice swim. And then I'll take my wife out for a nice brunch together. I'll find us a nice restaurant and take her out and surprise her. And then I'll spend some good time reading today, I think. Sitting here, walking the dogs. I'll make it a good day. We'll etch out the hours, make them stretch and last and be good. With that, I think I'm done. I'm ready for death. My life's in order. My paperwork, my affairs are in order. My relationships are sound, and my life's work is complete. So with that, I'll say, though my life is done, if not complete, I wish you all the best. Be safe, but not too safe. Take care.